Greetings and welcome to Tone on a Budget. Today we're going to talk about Dean guitars and what's going on in Dean. And as you can see, I've got my Dean out here. V79. Gorgeous, wonderful, awesome instrument, which are no longer available because Dean got sued by Gibson Guitars and can no longer make them. They were ordered by a court to cease and desist manufacturer, marketing, and advertising of the V's, the Z's, and a couple other models, and were ordered to no longer use the Hummingbird name, which was a Gibson trademark name for one of their acoustics. Yeah, Dean's having some issues. Their Rubinson, their I forget his first name, but their former CEO caused all kinds of problems. I read in a couple of news articles that the artists that formerly endorsed Dean guitars left because of Rubinson. He is the son of the original Rubinson that purchased Dean guitars when Dean Zielinski sold it, and he brought the brand back in the 90s. I think Dean is having all kinds of issues. And then on top of the lawsuit by Gibson, which basically told him they can't make their most popular models anymore. The V and the Z. The Z is the one that looks like the Gibson Explorer. The V obviously looks like the Gibson Flying V. They were found to be violating copyright law and ordered to cease and desist. Okay, and since then it's been a real circus going back and forth with this guy Rubinson and some of the statements he's made and what he's done, and they've been back and forth in court, and they got whacked. Dean got whacked 3 times now. They've been in court, and 3 times they've lost. And now they've had to come up with a pretty sizable amount of money. It's just ridiculous, and it's sad. Now, I look at trends and things that are going on as indicators of what's coming in the future. Okay, here are the trends and indicators that I'm seeing right now. Number one, Dean has a distributorship in Australia, in the country of Australia, where I guess they have a warehouse there that they distribute the Dean guitars out of, and they may have a showroom or something. I'm not sure exactly how they're doing it, but they do have a presence in Australia. Okay. Right now they're doing a clearance. They're clearancing out all of their existing stock and saying that no further shipments will be available at this time. Typically when I see a company clearancing their entire stock, it's a prelude to the doors closing forever. Okay, that's the first indicator. The second indicator is if we look at the U.S. distributors, dealers that work with Dean guitars, none of them have any Deans in stock other than whatever's left in the lower end entry-level guitars. Sam Ash is virtually nothing. Zzounds.com. If you go to their website right now, they have 4 Deans available, 4 electric guitars. One of them is a return. One of them is the last one available in a group that, who knows when it delivered. It's been there for a while. And then the other 2 are entry-level guitars. Okay, so they have no mid-grade or upper-level instruments made by Dean in the warehouse ready to ship. Although, and here's what I don't get. these are being advertised at zsounds.com and Sam Ash as pre-orders. Sam Ash does not give a delivery date, but Z-Sounds does. The V's have a delivery date of September 15th of this year. Order yours now. I don't know what kind of snake oil that Dean is selling these distributors, these dealers, but the court has ordered them to cease and desist manufacturing of these models. And unless Dean is able to take Gibson back to court and get that ruling overturned or reversed, they're never going to be able to make them again. So they're are they thinking that by September that they're going to have this court order reversed and they're going to be able to manufacture these guitars again? I'm thinking no. I mean, we can look at Ibanez, who Gibson went after back in the day when Ibanez was making lookalikes of Gibsons like Flying V's and Les Pauls and things, and they got sued and they haven't been able to make a Gibson lookalike model since. So yeah, I'm thinking that Dean is not going to be able to manufacture these models anymore. Then, on top of that, you have the estate of Dimebag Darrell, rest in peace, brother, who struck up a deal with Dean Guitars, had a long-standing endorsement deal with them from the 90s, and then shortly before he was murdered, shot on stage, I think it was in 2004. He struck up a deal with Dean, with their previous CEO before his son took over, and had some designs and stuff. And I believe Dean went and issued the design, and I believe it's the ML. And there's some issues there between the Dean estate, or the Dimebag Darrell estate, and Dean. So they have sued Dean Guitars. Yeah. I don't know what Dean's doing. I don't know if they're, taking pre-orders, saying we're going to have this reversed, it's going to be okay. Our lawyers are saying it's going to be great. Give us your money. And then they're going to take the money and run, go out of business, and skip the country or whatever, or if they really believe they're going to be able to sell these models again. But I mean, as it stands, with being sued by the Dimebag Darrell estate and Gibson Guitars, the ML line, the V line, the Z line, and there's another one that looks kind of like an SG. I forget the name of that model, but they can't sell that either. There's all of Dean's stock right there. All the other models that they make, there's a few other models that are super strat-ish that I don't see many people buying and playing. Everybody's going for the V's, the Z's, and the MLs. Those are the real cool Dean guitars. I don't know, but yeah. All I can do is hope that I'm wrong, and that Dean is able to ride this out and get back to doing what they once did. But I mean, when Dean Zielinski had the company, it was a completely different company. When the Rubinsons bought it, I don't know what the senior Rubinson was able to bring the company back and actually, this is a really high quality guitar, and it's made overseas. It's not a U.S. model. And they were able to, bring some quality to the table, from, this one's manufactured, it says here, made in India. All right, they've got a few places that are manufacturing in Asia, in Southeast Asia. I think they've got a factory in Indonesia that's making some. I don't know if any of them are made in China or not. This one, the V's are made in India. I don't know. All I know is that there's something going on here, and I'm afraid that we've seen the last of Dean guitars. I don't think Dean is going to be able to make it through this because their money makers have been taken away from them. They can no longer manufacture the Z's, the V's, and the MLs. So anyway, but they're still making the MLs while they're being sued by Dime's estate, and I don't know how that's going to turn out. But if it's going anyway like the Gibson lawsuit went, Dean's screwed. And I think they see what's coming because they've ceased manufacturing. Because if they were continuing to manufacture the other models, those would be in stock at the distributors' websites and in their warehouses and in their showrooms. They're not. So I think we're seeing the last of Dean guitars. Hope I'm wrong. Don't quote me. If you have heard anything, please leave it in the comments below. Because I'm going to continue to talk about this. I've already done one video where I talked about, are these guitars going away forever? That was a few months ago, and now after watching what's been going on and the trends, I believe that Dean is on its way out. If you've heard anything, let me know in the comments, okay? But don't say I heard that this is happening. If you do, tell us where you heard it. Cite your references. In the screenshots that I put up, most of those came from guitar.com. They have been reporting extensively on the Dean woes. They've been following it pretty well for the past 3 years, ever since 2019 when Gibson first sued them. So most of my references are going to be from guitar.com because they're the ones who are reporting about it the most. Anyway, y'all have a great day. Thanks for watching. Peace and God bless. Bye.